Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
They communicated to Indonesian air traffic control. It was supposed to be handed off to Vietnamese aircraft control, and it just disappeared.
A real vexing part of this mystery is that the pilot says goodnight, but then the plane turns off course.
The transponder then gets switched off, and then the aircraft, MH370, flies along seams of radar lines outside of radar coverage.
There's no distress call, there are no calls from cell phones from the passengers, just complete silence.
What happened to the flight has haunted the world ever since.
We're not used to planes just disappearing. If they come down, we expect to be able to find out why.
An international team of reconnaissance aircraft with naval support combs the vast Indian Ocean for signs of the plane. Questions abound as to what would cause a modern aircraft to disappear. Analysis of satellite data and drift modeling identifies an area of the Indian Ocean that searchers dub the seventh arc.
The seventh arc is determined by the experts to be the maximum distance a plane could have reached, dependent on the fuel that was in the plane.
Experts narrow down the hunt to a section of the arc 2,000 miles off the coast of Western Australia. Autonomous and remotely operated vehicles sweep the ocean floor with sonar, looking for the stricken plane.
They allow you to get deep enough for long enough to map the seafloor at incredible depths.
The team combs an area of 46,000 square miles, but nothing is found.
For over 1,000 days, the Australians, they've been looking in different locations. And I mean, it's an airplane. I never thought that it wasn't found yet.
Dr. Usama Qadri, a mathematician and expert in fluid dynamics, is frustrated by the lack of progress. But he has an idea.
If MH370 would have impacted on the surface, I started thinking, would actually that create acoustic gravity waves?
When an object hits the sea's surface, it causes a sudden change in water pressure, which creates a special type of sound wave called an acoustic gravity wave. By tracking these waves, it should be possible to work out the time an object struck the water and potentially its location in the ocean. So, could an acoustic gravity wave caused by the impact of MH370 unlock the secret of its final resting place?
If MH370 impacted on the surface of the ocean, that impact should have been recorded. Do we have some underwater recordings for these waves?
Across the planet's ocean floor lie listening posts called hydrophones. These underwater microphones convert sounds in the ocean into electrical signals that can be measured. The CTBTO, the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, operates hydrophone stations around the world, listening out 24/7 for evidence of unsanctioned nuclear weapons testing. Dr. Qadri's hope is that they may have inadvertently captured the impact of MH370.
I asked to have all available data in the Indian Ocean that they have from hydrophones that might be related to MH370 from before the airplane took off until the very possible time that you can have on that flight.
One listening station sits at Cape Lewin on the southwest tip of Australia, close to the original search site.
We focused on the ones from Cape Lewin, which is nearer to the seventh arc. There were two signals that could have been related to MH370.
Frustratingly, the signals he finds are very weak. But there's another CTBTO station in the Indian Ocean, whose signals have not yet been investigated. This is over 3,000 miles away to the northwest, on the tiny and remote militarized island of Diego Garcia.
If you blindly trust the seventh arc, then you wouldn't even look there at this data.
Is this really going to be a way that we can turn back the clock to the origin of the MH370's loss at sea?
It is a long shot, but Dr. Kadri believes that hydrophone recordings from Diego Garcia could help pinpoint the impact of MH370 in the ocean, and thereby be the key that opens up the investigation into the missing aircraft. But when Dr. Kadri finally gets his hands on the relevant recording data from the Diego Garcia listening station, crucial information is missing.
When we got the data, for each hour you get one file. I noticed that was one file that has half of the size.
There's a 25-minute hole in the recordings, and it's vital data from right around the time that the plane disappeared.
All these three hydrophones, it seems that they were shut down at the same time. The reason that we believe it is shut down because of the way the signal looks like when it restarts. We wanted to know why there is a missing 25 minutes.
Was the hydrophone turned off due to some type of technical issue that was anticipated?
The missing data has opened up a further mystery, and yet more speculation.
Would there be the threat of a rogue nation intercepting data?
Could it have been interference from other states who, for their own reason, are finding ways to switch off the hydrophones?
Requests from Dr. Kadri's team for answers are met with silence.
The missing 25 minutes is absolutely vital because if we had those 25 minutes, then we would actually know, almost certainly, whether we're talking about MH370.
Undeterred by this unforeseen setback, Dr. Kadri digs into the remaining data from Diego Garcia and finds something astonishing, buried deep inside the recordings.
From Diego Garcia, there are a couple of signals that were found.
One of these mysterious signals could be the impact of MH370. If it is, it means the plane took a route no one has yet examined. And it could launch a brand new investigation into what really happened in the final hours of the ill-fated flight.